This week I'm joined by Gerard Edwards, a stonemason and a conservation specialist who's worked on some of Ireland's most iconic buildings. From starting a business at the age of 20 to restoring places like castles, manor houses, we break down what it really takes to build a career in a skilled trade. This episode is brought to you by Top Drawer Talent, the supply chain procurement recruitment specialist, Nesta Storage, Dublin's #1 self-storage provider, and IT.ie, keeping businesses secure and connected with managed IT and cybersecurity solutions. Let's get into it. Here we go.
But there's three different types of masons.
Okay, so what's the tree?
So you've got fixer masons, banker masons, and then you've got like ornamental masons that do kind of sculpture and statues and like ornamental carving.
Okay, and then do you cover all three, or is it?
No, I don't cover all three. So I cover fixer mason work, and I do some banker mason work, kind of for grafting and repairing on buildings.
Okay.
But if it was like large scale, replacing sections of buildings, we get a banker mason just to make them off site.
Yeah.
Fit them.
And then I think like when I first came across your TikTok, I think you were fixing like a stained glass window, was it, or something?
Yeah,
like
we're
that?
working. That was part of a program that I'm doing this year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the SPAB fellowship program.
Yeah, because I thought that you might be the person. Well, you probably are. You know that in the churches, like the you see the different color glasses or whatever.
Yeah.
That was like what you're doing. And I was like, fucking hell, that's an interesting job. Like that's some skill now on that, because like the precision like that you put into it, I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, well, the stained glass now in Ireland, like the #1 person would be Evan Conan, Conan Studios. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
So he's actually over on the Stanaway Road. So he's a proper big studio over there.
Yeah, okay.
So he trained as a stained glass artist.
Right.
So his apprenticeship would have been 8 years, which is 4 years painting and 4 years drawing, actually just designing windows.
Oh, okay, before
So,
you even got
so I've walked alongside him on churches and projects where he's doing the stained glass work, and we could be doing like the masonry stuff, the lime plastering, the stone repairs, grafting, pointing works.
Yeah, and then generally you see like the scaffolding going around the High Court every year, right? Is that because it's an old building that just needs to be preserved and that's just the way they were built, or is that just like maintenance work that's happening?
Well, no, I think on the forecourts. Now, I wasn't on that project, but I think they were replacing the capitals.
Okay.
So there was damage to the capitals up at the top of the columns. They were splitting.
Right.
So they actually were replacing them.
Right.
So that's what they were doing there in the forecourts.
Okay.
I think they gave that project out to a couple of different carvers in the country. So different carvers from all over Ireland carved each capital.
Right. All right.
On that.
Right, that's interesting as well. But like, it's not like the way you seen like Big Ben and stuff like in London being like a scaffolding up there. Like, is that all the type of stuff that you're doing? Like, are you...
Yeah, well, obviously we haven't got much stuff like that. So
yeah.
But
still, like Adare Manor and Richmond Castle are still.
Well, yeah, Adare Manor was a large project.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I think over the last kind of my career, I think Richmond Barracks is one of my proudest buildings.
Okay.
Obviously, because it's a 1916 centenary building.
Yeah.
We were awarded the project, and the GPO was another one. I know. We done the opening up phase, so we done the exploratory phase to find out what way the building had to be repaired.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously we didn't actually win the project.
Right.
And then we got Richmond Barracks, which is a nice one to get.
Do you like now, right? Do you have like your own crew? Or are you just like an individual contractor that's contracted in as a specialist?
Like, yeah.
Or is it a mix?
That's a hard question to answer. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, this year I'm doing a training program, so.
Okay. Yeah.
I took a year out of my career.
Yeah. Right.
So like I've no lads, and then say for the last 6 or 7 years I've been focusing on upskilling.
Right.
So like I had 1 or 2 lads with me, depending on what I was doing, and I was really just trying to upskill myself in kind of decorative plaster work, doing like ornamental plaster, and learning basically like lime plastering. That's where I wanted to go.
Okay.
Do you know, because I started off doing stonemasonry.
Yeah.
And
because it's a lime plastering, stonemasonry, and then you do restorations and what's this?
But now, so I cover basically started off as fixer mason.
Fixer mason, yeah.
And then I didn't do an apprenticeship.
Yeah. Well,
it was a time served. So basically I worked with Stonecraft up in Ballyknockin.
Right.
I done 4 years with them.
Right.
And then I went to the UK for just over a year, and I worked with a conservation company in the UK.
Yeah.
And there I was doing banker mason work and indents and doing kind of repairs to buildings. And then when I came back from the UK, I kind of opened my own company.
Yeah.
But then I got into doing like heritage bricklaying.
Yeah.
So I've been doing heritage bricklaying, and then I got into doing decorative pointing techniques.
Yeah.
So like decorative pointing techniques basically from Tudor times up until kind of Victorian times. So I've done some training in the UK.
Right.
Got into that, And then the last 7 years, I've just been doing line plastering.
Right.
So it's kind of 3 trades I kind of cover.
Yeah, it's well, it's like, do you have to keep going back to the UK because there's no training in Ireland for what you're doing, or is it just not a big industry? There's not enough old buildings.
There's not enough training in Ireland. There's not enough training in the UK, but they've got more than Ireland. They've actually got kind of conservation colleges. So they've got I think they've got Westdean College,
right,
which is a conservation college. So they do different courses on different, like repairing buildings, masonry, pointing, working with different materials, plaster work. So they kind of run different programs. You can actually go and upskill, but we haven't got any kind of colleges in Ireland just for conservation.
And then, are you like funding all this yourself, right? Or like, are you getting state funding or not?
Well, this year on the SPAB fellowship program, they give you a grant.
Okay, yeah.
So grant's about €10,000.
Okay, yeah.
But €10,000
It's
to
not
cover
enough for a year, yeah.
For a year. So the rest of it was my own funding.
Okay.
So savings
Yeah, everything else.
from the year before, because it was taking the year. So literally all my savings and stuff like that went through this year.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it.
Yeah, well, I'd say so. But then, like, will you make it all back then with what you're learning? Because, like,
Well, that'd be the hope, wouldn't it?
yeah, yeah. Well, like, it's obviously expensive, right, to get you in to do something like that. And there's like, as soon as you see an old building being repaired, like, I just see money.
Well, it really
You know?
depends, I suppose, on the building, what you're doing, how technical the project is, where the project is, do you know? But obviously, the rates between new build and conservation there's massive difference in the rates. But obviously, because the work takes longer as well.
Yeah, and
It's not just it's slower.
like in a factory, like,
Yeah, but it's slower. Like line plastering, there's a lot of protection. You've got to wait in between the coats, so like you can't just put one coat on the wall, come back the next day and put the next coat on. So like with line plastering, you've got to wait, you've got to let it dry out, and depending on the time of year, you could be waiting 2 weeks to wait for a coat to dry. And in between waiting for the 2 weeks to dry, it's got to be protected. The moisture levels have got to be controlled in it. Do you know? So it's not just a case of just like cement work, just throwing coats on the wall one day after the other.
but like back in the day, right? How are they protecting like these moisture levels and stuff like?
The city warned. So like if you were building an old building back in the day, so say the wall's 400 mil thick, like especially back pre 1700, like they'd build the wall, and as the wall was being built, they'd be putting the plaster on it. So the moisture from building the wall was locked into the whole wall. So that's what controlled the moisture level. So if you're going to a building now and the wall's 400 mil thick, the wall's completely dry. Well, hopefully it's completely dry.
Yeah.
So obviously then you're putting a thin coat of lime plaster on, probably 10 mil to 15 mil thick. It's going to suck the moisture out of it. Do you know? So you're putting it onto a dry surface, so you're not doing it in the same conditions.
Okay.
So that's the reason for controlling moisture levels.
Ah, okay, right. So back then, wouldn't really matter.
Wouldn't have mattered.
All restoration. Yeah.
Well, it's not that it's restoration, it's just that the building's standing now and it's dry.
Yeah.
So it's what we would have called like a green wall. So like when a wall's first built, you've got all the water and moisture from doing the mixings locked into the wall.
Yeah.
Soaks into the wall. So there's a high moisture level in the walls.
Okay.
When they're plastering it, so they didn't have to do anything like that. So if we were doing the same now, we wouldn't have to do it. So if we were building a new section of wall in the building,
yeah,
and we were putting plaster onto it, we wouldn't have to worry about kind of controlling moisture levels, because the moisture from building the wall is locked into it.
Okay. And was this like something that you always wanted to do, like, and always wanted to get into it, or was it just you just kind of landed this way?
Just the way my career shaped, just completely chance, just completely, like, obviously I went to the UK. I actually applied for a job in the UK.
Right.
And I got an interview, and I went for the interview, and I was talking to the contracts manager. I didn't know it was a restoration project.
Yeah.
And I got the job, and I turned up the first day, and like all these lads are banker masons with chisels, and I was a fixer mason. And I'm like, this is not what I do.
What's going on?
And the site foreman came down to me, like the working foreman, and he gave me his toolkit.
Right.
Because he was off the tools. He was like he was kind of like a management foreman.
Yeah.
And basically he trained me on site.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's
And it was like, I literally used to go in on Saturdays with him, and he'd be literally teaching me banker mason work and how to do grafting. So like I was trained on site. So it was just by accident, really.
Yeah.
Now, we'd done a little bit of restoration work in my first 4 years,
right.
but not too much.
Okay.
And then I think when I opened my own company, Celtic Stone, back in the day when I was like only 20 years of age. Like,
Yeah.
And literally, it took me 6 months to get my first job, because I was so baby-faced, you know.
Yeah,
I put an advertisement in the Golden back in the day, you know, the Golden Pages.
Yeah.
Put an ad in, started getting phone calls. I'd be going to price jobs, and I wouldn't get it, and I wouldn't get the job, you know, because you're young.
20, yeah.
Yeah, I was 20 years of age. And then obviously I just got my first job, and it was out in, one of my first jobs was out in Clontarf.
Right.
And it was the repair of an old wall that a car damaged. A car went through the wall. And I was repairing that wall. and somebody pulled up and asked me could I price the job. And I went round the corner. It was one of the big houses on the Malahide Road, one of the big kind of Georgian houses.
Nice.
And they wanted a whole front wall, entrance pushed back and repointing works done.
Okay.
And I was on that job, and a car pulled up the one day, and a lad got out in a pair of trousers and a shirt and walked over to me and says, "Is your boss around?" Because I was a young fella. I said, "That's me." And he says, "Do you want to do some work for us?" And he gave me a business card, and it was Interclean. So Interclean would have been the biggest kind of conservation restoration company at the time in Ireland.
Yeah.
And he was the contracts manager.
Right.
And then he gave me a job down in Collins Barracks. He rang me up about 2 weeks later and said, "Look, we've a job there, a couple of pillars to build in Collins Barracks. Do you want to come in and build them?" And literally, I went in and built them pillars. And literally, then I was probably half the time working for Interclean. Yeah. For the next couple of years.
And like, did he have a problem like with your age or anything? No, or just because he's seen your work?
Just seeing the work, he didn't care. I mean, that's what most people. I mean, I think in the trade, obviously, you can get judged very quick. Yeah. From where you're from, how you talk. Yeah. But most people, if you can do the work, you can do the work. Yeah, that's. And I ended up having like probably 10 lads with them. Right. So like in the space of 3 years, I went from like me with an apprentice to like an 18-man team.
Jeez, how did you, like, at such a young age, like, did that body you, or were you happy enough?
It was just the way it was.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But when I came back after being in England, one of my older brothers turned around to me. I was in the mother's house, and he turned around to me and says, "I'm going to open a stonemason company. Right. And you're going to work for it." Do you know? He told me what I was going to do. Yeah. And I literally just went, "No."
You picked your career for you?
Yeah, yeah. So then I literally said, I went round, at the time I didn't even have to open a company. Right. I literally went round to the local FOSS centre. Yeah. And one of the lads sat down with me and filled out the company paperwork, because I'm dyslexic. Yeah. Can't read or write. And he filled the paperwork out for me and done it for me. And that was it.
And that's how you got the company going?
Then that's how I got it going.
You're working, you said, what, 13 you're working since, right? Like, that was family business, was it, that you got into? Or
no, well, no. So when I first started, I used to kind of work during the holidays with my brothers. They're roofers. Right. So I used to go in with them, kind of giving them a hand on jobs and carrying materials, just doing little bits of labouring work. Yeah. And then it was 13. I wouldn't go back to school at the Christmas holidays. Right. And my mother said to me, "Look, if you get a job, you don't have to go back to school." So my brother John was working for Stonecraft at the time, and he got me in with that company.
Such like a 13.
I was big lad. Yeah. Like I was 14, I was 6'2". Do you know, I was probably a bit skinny now, you know, but like, yeah. Well, I look 16. Okay. And it was back in the day before the safe passes and things like that. You know, we had to show ID to do a safe pass. There was no safe pass when I started. Yeah. You know, you could just turn up, and if you looked the age, nobody said anything. Right. And did anyone know what age you were, or no one asked you, didn't say anything? They found out a year later. Right. But and then at that stage,
I could do the job.
I could do the job, and I was flying. Yeah. So, you know, it was just how it worked out.
Right. How was school for you? Like, did you enjoy it? No.
School?
Did you make it to secondary school?
Yeah, I did. Just about.
Okay.
I didn't really like school. I was always into working with my hands, so school had no interest to me. No interest. And it's all because I was dyslexic, and like obviously
Did you know back then?
No. But so obviously, you know, I mean, you struggle reading. Yeah. You know, I even today, like I'd write a text message and I'll send it to someone, and someone will send me back a laughy face, like. You know what I mean? And I'll sit there and look at the message and go, "Jeez, I missed about 6 words there." You know, but like.
Yeah. And how did she feel like when you came home and said, "Oh, I have a job, I'm not going back to school"?
Well, the brother got me the job, so like.
Okay.
You know.
Was your brother like in a similar situation to you, like a bit dyslexic, or?
No. The brother John trained as a bricklayer, so he's a qualified bricklayer. Right. So
he just kind of took you on
he just took. Well, there was a big crew. There was a big crew with that company, so I could have been working with anybody. And like literally, I think that's the reason I started working so hard. Is like literally the owner came down to me the one day and gave me a trowel. I said, "Right, there's your trowel. So when the lads have enough mortar and enough stone, you can use the trowel." Took me 6 months to get a shot of that trowel. Yeah. Just working every day, trying to, you know, learn how to keep everyone stacked out ahead of me. Yeah. So it was 6 months before I got a shot of the trowel that was given. Yeah, because that would be in back-breaking work, like a bricklayer's hand, right? Like, well, it's stonemason. You're loading out stone all day with wheelbarrows and doing mixes. And there was 4 lads I was looking after. Jeez. 4 lads on the trowel, like.
Okay. I mean, is there anyone else your age on site or anything, no? Or were you just getting absolutely minced?
Yeah, it never really bothered me. I always worked hard with my brothers, you know what I mean? And it's just something that was instilled, because we were never into sport, and
Right. So
Do you know,
get
like
the work.
work was kind of what we done. Do you know,
Yeah.
father was a craft person, tradesperson as well, and all my brothers, the 7 of us in the family,
Right.
and
Okay.
they're all
Just
all
grafters.
all crafts people.
Yeah, jeez, it's paying dividends for you now, right? But are you sorry you didn't finish school, or are you delighted with the way things kind of worked out?
Yeah, I'm delighted. Well, yeah, because like I mean, you stay in school. I mean, the way kind of school is now and money is now with getting a college job. So
Yeah.
most people can come out of college now and can't
Okay.
get a job.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Do you know, I'm 27 years on the tills, and
Yeah.
I'm lucky and very blessed for the type of contracts I get now. But it takes a long time to get to that level where people know you and people trust you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Like that first job, right? So how long are you in that first job for? You were there from 14 to what age?
About 18.
18.
18, yeah.
Okay. And then where did you go after that job then as the stonemason?
I went off to the UK for a year.
UK, right?
UK for a year.
And you upskilled then?
Well, yeah, I didn't go to upscale, but it's just
But
that's the
just
job I
what
landed.
happens.
Yeah, so I was on a restoration project in Birmingham City Centre,
Yeah.
Rags and Coast Solicitor building in Birmingham Cathedral, with the 2 jobs I was on for that company.
Yeah.
So
Why did you come back?
why did I come back?
Yeah.
Missed home.
Okay.
Missed home. Missed my family.
Yeah. Was it like you're such a young age, like after being moved for 14 to going to the UK working, right? And then coming back home, like, and then that's when you started your own business, right? At
Yeah.
20. Yeah,
Well,
'cause
yeah,
it's
yeah,
yeah.
just coming up to 20. Yeah, I done a bit of subcontracting work when I got back.
Right.
So like I was working on price work for different companies when I got back. That's what I done. I hopped into doing price work for 2 companies. George Cook up in Holt. He owns the quarry up there.
Right.
So I went working for him,
Okay.
and literally he was just giving me price work. So he'd just literally ring me up and say, look, there's a job there, 300 square meters in it, and I'd have a rate per square meter. Get in and get it done. Do you know? And I'd no even car when I started doing that.
Yeah, geez.
Like, so like my first job I done for George Cook, because he knew me from working with. So the reason I knew him was working with the other company, the first company.
Ah, okay.
So I rang him up and said, look, any chance for a bit of work?
Yeah.
He says, well, can I see a job you've done yourself?
Yeah.
And I met him at a job I'd done. And it was only a small job, a couple of walls. And he looked at the walls and said, right, you can have the job.
Right.
And literally he dropped out. He knew it. I told him I had no car at the time.
Yeah.
I hadn't even got a driving license. Do you know what I mean? And like literally he dropped out the wheelbarrows, the shovels, the tools out to a job in Foxrock.
Yeah.
And I went out to the job in Foxrock on the bus with a mate of mine,
Okay.
with me tool bag and me level. And like literally turned up the first day, and the lad, the boss man came out, and I got a phone call. Only walked onto the job, introduced myself, and I got a phone call off George. What did you do? So I haven't done that and haven't even built that yet. So he wants you off the job. Obviously, he's seen me age.
Yeah.
And there was already a stonemason there that got through off the job before me.
Oh, okay.
And I just said to him on the phone, I said, look, tell him, let me do a half a day. If he doesn't like me work, I'll take it down and I'll go.
Yeah.
And literally I started working that day, didn't hear Anne. George never rang me back, worked till the end of the day. I kind of built 2 pillars up to about a metre high.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the boss man came out and just said, about time I was in a proper tradesman on the stills. And I was a young fella.
Jeez.
And then I spent about 9 months working for George then.
Right.
And then over that 9 months, I went from having a lad that had no license, then he employed a lad that had a driving license in the car.
Okay.
That's how I started getting around.
Right.
And then
So someone was driving you around.
someone was driving. Well, he had a job. He laboured
Yeah.
for me as well. And then I was concentrating on getting me license, and I got me license.
Right.
And when I got me license, that's when I'm working for myself.
Yeah. Were you like pushed on getting your driving license, or did you not want to go do it because you might have been afraid of it because of the dyslexia thing, or?
It's just I left this thing sitting there and never bothered about it, and
Right.
that's what kind of pushed me needing it for work.
Okay, so you're motivated for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the driving license is the number 1 qualification someone should get before
Oh, yeah, yeah.
high school, because
You need it.
you can lose out on opportunities, but you're just lucky you didn't. But I suppose so. Then you start. So after you finished working for that guy George, that's when you decided to go out on your own,
Yeah, that's when I started up myself.
and that's when that guy pulled up and said, "Do you want to come in and do?"
Yeah, it was a couple of months. It was about 6 months working for myself before that happened.
Okay.
So I was doing a bit of subcontracting work for 2 other stonemason firms.
Yeah.
So I was doing subbing work, and while I was getting phone calls in off my advertisement, I was going and pricing the jobs.
Yeah.
And it took me like 6 months to get my first job through my own advertisements.
What sparked like that entrepreneurial flair, like where you wanted to go do it yourself, and then where did you even get the idea to put it into the Golden Pages? Did you just
Well, the brothers had their own companies, and they had ads in the Golden Pages, and I knew that's where they got the work.
so you just followed?
So like I just followed suit.
Right.
From monkey see, monkey do, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it, exactly. Yeah. So and that it just worked out. Just lucky that it worked out.
Just worked out. just worked out until the crash 2007, 2008.
Yeah. So you done Collins Barracks, everything kind of went belly up then. You 18 lads?
Well, I only done pillars in Collins Barracks, and
Right.
at that stage I would have been doing like 50% restoration conservation work
Yeah.
and 50% new build works.
Okay.
Do you know? And obviously jobs all over the place, Wicklow, Mead, Dublin, doing stuff for Interclean, and literally 2007, 2008 came and literally wiped that out. But while I was doing that, I had a Subway sandwich bar as well.
Yes.
Yeah, like, so that was something else I done. I got
bought your franchise.
bought franchise.
Right. Yeah, because they used to put on the napkins, didn't they? Like X amount for a
Yeah,
franchise.
well, I got a franchise, and I don't know why. I was just young, do you know, and it was just a good idea. Me and one of my brothers
Yeah.
just kind of went into that. So I had that as long with me, stonemason business.
Fuck. Okay, so you're obviously doing quite well then at that stage.
Yeah, but spending money, you know, back in the days, I didn't kind of have somebody. Obviously, I grew up in like single parent family.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have kind of a father figure kind of guiding me, giving me advice, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I was good at spending money. I spent it as quick as I made it.
Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? Like, you're not really worried about like spending because I'm just gonna make it. It's
Just gonna make
just another week's work. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought back when I was that age that was just gonna keep going. That
Yeah.
all them days of just landing jobs and making money like that was just the way it was gonna continue forever.
Yeah. And did you lose everything then when the recession came? Like,
Yeah.
like totally wiped out. Yeah.
Wiped out, yeah.
Would you had much debt or?
Well, I was look, I bought a lot of vehicles.
Big car, a lot of cars.
Well, a Jeeps, a
Okay.
couple of Jeeps, a
Right.
couple of Jeeps.
You like the lads' jeeps as well, like kind of thing.
No, they were mine.
Okay.
And then I had a boat. I got myself a boat when I was like
Fuck's sake. Okay.
22, so the boat and Jeeps, and just not being very clever with your money. Do you know what I mean? And like literally,
What kind of boat did you buy?
I was only like a Maxim 2100 SR, like, so it's like
Right. Okay.
it was just something.
Yeah, sure. Look at boats about.
Just something. And we actually got it off a fella we done a job for.
Right.
So we were actually doing a job, and the client had a bill with us.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And he said at the end of the job, he says, "Look, I have that boat there." It was out in Bray. He says, "Look, we've that boat there." He says, "We don't use it. We bought it, and we don't use it." He says, "Do you want to take some money off the bill?" So when I went looking online and seen the price of the boat
Yeah.
and seeing how much he owed us, I says, "Yeah, I'll take that. I'll wipe the bill for that. Yeah, no problem." Do you know what I mean? Because it was worth more.
If you could go back, would you still take the boat and sell it on cash, or what would you do now?
Yeah, now I wouldn't be into that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I have my van for work. I wouldn't drive a Jeep for work again. Do you know?
But that's mental. But you know what? If you're young, you'll probably do the same thing. If someone offers you a boat or a jet ski,
Well,
you'd probably
do you know,
take
I was 20 years of age, going to 23 at that stage. So I mean, I had a good living. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed it while I had it.
it. Yeah, definitely.
Do you know?
Jeez.
At least I can say I lived a little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking hell, about at 23. But did so what was the process then of it all kind of going belly up? Like, what happened? Just couldn't get work. There was
Well,
no
just-
money in the country.
Well, 2007 and the recession came. Now, lucky enough, I signed a contract.
Yeah.
That brought me into 2009.
Okay.
So it started late 2008, and I got into 2009. So I signed a contract for like about 400 grand on a job.
Right. Okay.
So I was on a job then,
Yeah.
making money for that kind of period. So like I was lucky enough that way that I kind of got another year out of it when most people were sitting at home.
Yeah.
Because literally when that crash came, literally the sites in town got closed down. I know lads that just got phone calls off QSs on a Friday saying, "Look, get all your stuff off the job. The job's gone." Like literally just lock gates.
Yeah, one of my friends' dad actually, he's a scaffolder, and he had scaffolds. All the scaffolds were out on this site, and the site went into liquidation or whatever. So he couldn't get back onto the site to get his scaffolds back. So he went bankrupt because he lost
Part of the site
Yeah.
became part of the actual package. They sold everything off then, didn't they?
Yeah, so he lost everything. So that would have been crazy. So that once that contract was done, then no more work for you.
It was yeah. I think I spent about a year at home.
Okay.
A year. I was doing little bits and pieces here and there, but nothing
No major.
Nothing substantial.
Okay.
Nothing substantial. Yeah, it was just literally work was gone.
Was it heartbreaking for you, or?
Oh yeah, it was horrible times. Yeah, because like I was so young, I didn't think it'd ever stop. So that was my first experience with a recession.
Yeah.
Do you know?
What lessons did you learn from it? Like, did you learn to become more financially savvy because of that?
Yeah, well, I think everyone does, don't you? You go through
Yeah.
something like that, you realise that money doesn't just keep coming.
Yeah.
You got to hold on to it.
Okay.
Do you know? And then obviously, I just think I went with another company then. So one of the Interclean closed down. That's what actually happened. So when Interclean closed down, their managing director and the two contracts managers actually set up their own businesses. So when that company closed during the recession, it created 3 new companies.
Okay.
Do you know? So I started working direct for one of the lads, Brian Cunningham, for Summit Conservation.
Right.
So that's kind of how I got back in working after the recession. So I kind of spent like 2.5 years with them.
Okay, yeah, before then. And so you went back working then for someone else, right? Do you ever think that you'll open up another business again?
I had all intentions of, yeah, it was just...
Yeah. Will you do it again?
Yeah, well, I've opened my own company.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
you
this
have
back,
now.
I have one, but I opened, I went in last week. Obviously, it took a year out this week, and
Yeah.
the last few years I've been doing subby work.
Okay.
Well, not subby work, I've been working direct for clients, but haven't had an actual limited company or a business.
Yeah.
And then this week I opened a new company, Balance Conservation Limited.
Balance Conversation, okay.
So that's kind of where I'm going. And
any projects lined up now? Or?
Yeah, I've got
George. Do you have like a big wait list of like people looking to get you? Because it's like there's not that many people around that can do what you do.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of companies around, but I just think that if somebody wants good work, they know who they want before. So like a lot of the jobs I'm not pricing against anybody else.
Okay.
So I'm the only person pricing the project. So like I don't do competitive tendering anymore. I used to do competitive tendering, where like I'd be pricing against 3 other contractors for a building contractor.
Right.
But like I haven't worked for a building contractor in like 6-7 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Do you know, it's just
a race to the bottom.
Bottom price gets it. It's not about the quality of work. It's where, and then you could be pricing against another company that hasn't got the experience, and they're just firing lads at it. Do you know?
Yeah.
And it's just a race. So the last 6-7 years, I've just been focusing on upskilling with my hands and getting good jobs. And people come to me. It's all word of mouth. Every phone call I get is word of mouth, or someone's recommended me, or.
Is social, like, because I obviously found you through TikTok, right, and doing the stained window or whatever
Stained glass window
on one of the courses that you're on. Do you think like social media will play a big part now on the next kind of company?
Yeah, I'd like to get into doing it more.
Yeah.
I'd like to kind of putting up what we do, what the projects are, how we're kind of tackling the projects, how we're doing repairs, you know, some of the specialist work that we do, you know, showcasing specialist work, kind of like decorative plaster work and ceilings and, you know.
Yeah, what's been like some of the most interesting projects that you've worked on?
My favourite project
is
St. Kevin's Church in Harness Street.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been working there for 12 years.
Oh. Okay.
So like they don't, not constant.
Yeah, it's just, you know,
they'll do a project when they have the money. So we've done like the chancel, we've done the 2 side chapels, the Lady Chapel and the Joseph Chapel, and we've done other projects around the building. So they've probably done about 15% of the building in the last 12 years.
Okay.
And so I'm like, that's my favourite building. Love working on that building.
Right.
You know?
Just where you keep getting drawn back to.
I just like
the
project.
Church, actually,
yeah, it's lovely on the inside. Like it's all the stenciling's gone back on. I like the priest. I like the setup. I like the architect firm that looks after the job. Yeah. And then obviously you're running on the scaffolding, working on the scaffolding. They come in and practice the organ 3 days a week. You're sitting up on the scaffolding and the organ comes on in the background and you're just up working on the scaffolding, you know?
It's kind of nice, yeah.
It's a nice job, nice building to be working on. And it's where I'm from as well. It's in Dublin, eh?
Yeah.
You know, like it's me stomping ground where I grew up when I was a kid.
Whereabouts in Dublin are you from?
Cork Street. Cork, Denard Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Denard Avenue, yeah. Yeah, Denard Avenue. So that's where I grew up.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, so that would have been the local. Well, it wasn't probably the local.
Not the local, but it's in the area.
Yeah.
It's in the area.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my mates would have went to Sing Street School and all, do you know that way? Yeah. And that's right next door to it.
Did you go to Sing Street? Did you?
No, I didn't. I went Clogger Road, the Tech, St. Kevin's, the Tech.
No comment. Yeah, no, I went to Sing Street for primary, but then moved to Temple Oak for.
Yeah, you up to the posh school, huh?
Partially everywhere left, so no claim to fame. But in terms of like people contacting you, right? Like what are you doing? Like, is it just like surface work that you're doing, or like for like a wall or a building, or do you have to like dig back right into the building to get the wall?
It could be anything. I mean, like obviously sometimes we go to. I've done a job there a year ago, and it was all opening up work. So the building had like 2 coats of sand and cement on it. She'd been covered up, so we removed all the cement off it, and then the windows had been made really small. So originally they would have been big, massive Georgian windows, and they've been turned into like little pokey windows. So we were removing all the inappropriate materials that were added to the building, say in the last 50 years, 60 years.
Yeah.
So we're removing all the cements, all the inappropriate, get the buildings back to the windows back to the original size. Could do all consolidation work on the masonry, repairs, reline plaster in the inside. and basically putting all the traditional materials back, like doing like for repairs that we wore in that job.
Right. And does it take like much longer to do all this type of work? Like
Well, yeah, the skill level's a lot higher,
yeah.
and it's hard to find people that actually do it. I mean, that's one of the biggest lacks I'd say now in the industry is the amount. There's not enough people coming into it.
Yeah. Is it hard to get in?
Well, obviously, I just think in general, there's nobody going into trades, and most lads that are going into trades now are going into an electrician or a plumber.
Yeah, that's
Nobody wants to do wet trades because it's messy, it's cold, it's outside. You know what I mean? It's winter work.
hardcore.
It's hardcore. Yeah. So most lads these days are coming from playing a PlayStation, leaving 5 in their bedrooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the heating on. So like to get them out on a cold west side on a mixing mortar, they don't want to do it. So it's hard to find people that want to come into it.
If someone did want to come into it, right, like, and like, what's the best way that they should approach going for an apprenticeship as a stonemason?
Well, even going into anything, an apprentice bricklayer, I mean, there is opportunities there with companies. I think the best thing is just get in with a company that does good work.
Okay.
Because that's the one thing I'd say is you'll only be as good as the people you work with. I mean, you get in with a wrong crew and the lads don't do good work. Yeah. Well, you're not going to be good, are you?
Kind of snookered,
so it's finding a company that's up there or I'd say a small specialist firm, because you don't want to work for a big company. You don't want to be part of like a 50-man crew and lads have been moved around, and most apprentices are used then as just as labourers.
Yeah.
You don't want to be part of that. You want to get in with a small niche crew, a couple of lads that are really good at what they do and learn off the best. Because I mean, I've constantly been upskilling the last 27 years, and I love when I find someone better than me.
Yeah.
Someone to learn off.
Yeah, because I'd say it's like one of them jobs like where you just constantly have to upskill because you don't know what's going to come up next. Like, it's not like, if you're a bricklayer, right, you probably just go build a wall, right? And all those different bricks or whatever, right? So I'm not insulting bricklayers, but with your own, like the stones, the different shapes and everything else, and getting.
Well, I think bricklaying now, like obviously new build stuff is all just straight brickwork, cavity work,
or poured concrete.
Yeah, but like the old work in the buildings, I mean, you could be doing like, I mean, that's what I enjoy doing in brickwork, is doing like arches, like cambered flat arches, Georgian flat arches, segmental arches off Victorian buildings, and like Queen Anne arches. You have to be able to draw it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing they don't teach in college anymore. Actually drawing out a building. I mean, you have to be able to actually fully draw out an arch 1-to-1 on paper, and then actually cut every single brick to size, and then take that template and make it fit back into the building. You know what I mean? So like that's how it's done.
And did you just learn all that from like being on the job, or was that from going?
But no, I've done specialist training as well. Like so, we spent 3 weeks 1-on-1 with Dr. Gerard Lynch.
Okay.
So he's a doctorate in bricklaying. So he's the number 1 brick specialist in the world.
Right.
He's an Irish man that moved to England when he was a kid.
Okay.
And when he was 33, got into doing training in the colleges, and he's written a couple of books. He's a couple of different books on kind of making a brick and gauge brickwork.
Right.
And about 7 years ago, I went and spent 3 weeks with him 1-on-1. Now it costs a lot of money, like it's not cheap. So I spent 3 weeks with him 1-on-1, just doing all decorative pointing styles and kind of history of brickwork and different, and that's
Would
that was
do you have ambitions like to get to that level like a doctorate in
bricklaying?
Yeah.
No.
Whatever you're saying. No.
I mean, obviously, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind training more people and helping people and encouraging new people along.
Yeah.
But I mean, like maybe when I'm older. But I mean, I love being on site.
Yeah.
I love working with my hands. I mean, that's I think when I had one of my companies, like the second company I had, like when I got pulled off my tools, I hated it.
Okay.
Hated it. Do you know what I mean? Running around just checking on jobs, doing paperwork. I mean,
sure, hands-on.
Yeah, I love being hands-on. I just love being on site, looking after a job, organising all the different trades, crafts and skills, and just getting it done.
Is there like a proper apprenticeship for it now though? Like,
for
a stonemason?
For banker mason, yeah, there's one over here now. Yeah, there's like Tom Little, I think, runs a college down in Kerry, I think it is, on the west coast of Ireland.
But it's not run through like, Sulis, or like what would it be?
I think you can do it, yeah. So you've got to be working for a company, and then you'll go and train and take time out and go and work with him.
Yeah.
Down in his workshop.
Okay. So
so there's actually a proper apprenticeship there. Tom Little actually set that up, so he's the driving force behind getting banker masons back trained in Ireland.
Okay, because there's probably a lot to be done in Ireland, like with restorations, would there be? Or?
Yeah, I think the Heritage Council are trying to push it now at the minute, and they're trying to do studies on kind of how to get a college set up and how to get this going. And I think the only really way of getting it going is getting more craft people involved with it. Yeah. To do training with people.
Yeah. How do you think like we get more people, like younger people, into like what you call like the wet trades, like, and making them a bit more hardcore?
The hardcore. I mean, obviously, I just think they've pulled a lot of the woodworking and metalworking out skills.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that was always an option in the school, that if you weren't very academic,
Yeah.
you had something with your hands to do.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, 'cause back in my day when we went to school, like they were the options. If you left school, you were going working on a building site.
Yeah,
That was it. You're one or the other. You either stayed in school, you went to college. Well, not really people went to college in my area, but
yeah.
everyone went out on the sites. Do you know? So I think that's kind of what they need. I think they need to be kind of bringing kind of stuff like that back into schools for secondary, and kind of talking more, doing craft days as well, because like
Yeah.
people don't even know you can do it. I mean, like it's not like new build work, you know, you see general straight bricklaying. I mean, it's really ornamental arches and,
Yeah.
you know, line plaster and decorative ceilings. I mean, the kids actually seeing the type of work that you do,
Yeah.
they might have an interest in it, because they're not just standing on a scaffolding on a rough building site in the middle of town, you know, on a new build. It's actually
Yeah.
quite it, because every job is different. No one job is the same. Every building has its own set of problems, a different approach to it, different types of work. So it changes constantly. It's not repetitive.
No, yeah, like not at all, I would
No,
say.
changes. Every building is different.
Yeah. And have you like developed now like a real interest in like history, or was that always something like art and history are probably big ones for the
Nah, I didn't become a geek until I was in my 30s.
Oh, okay.
So like,
Well done.
like when I was younger,
Yeah.
I loved my job and I loved what I do, and
Yeah.
I loved the work. But I think as I got older, I got more of a passion for it. And you know, like obviously all my brothers are in crafts, and we're all competitive.
Right.
You know, so it's always competitive. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't football talk at the table; it was like work talk.
Taking a picture of
Walk talk,
Yeah.
you know. My brothers have been, one of my brothers is a traditional coppersmith, another one's a roofer, the other one's a bricklayer, you know. So we're all in the industry.
Okay.
So it's a competition, like who does the best work,
Right.
do you know? And that's what it was like.
And you think like trees get together and do one company, or
No, we don't
keep
work
all
like that.
separate?
No, look, I do a little bit of work for my brother Philip, and like
Yeah.
I do work with my brothers,
Yeah.
but it's it's hard for brothers to get on site. It's all right doing a week with them
Yeah. With the people
and then going off,
Yeah.
but like I couldn't do it full time.
Okay.
You know, we're all independent. We all have our own little kind of niches and how we work.
Yeah. On mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, once there's a bit of work there for you every now and again, that's the main thing.
Yeah, but I'm more so just giving each other a dig out of hand. So like if I'm on a job and I need some roofing work done, or you know, I need some metal work done, like the only person I'll bring is my brother, do you know, that way.
Okay.
And he'll come and do it for me, and that's him kind of just giving me a dig out.
Yeah.
Do you know, I just wouldn't trust anyone else to do it.
Yeah, because you know his rules.
Yeah. He's
give him a bit of grief.
he's absolutely top end of what he does.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So, and you were saying, right, so there's different kinds of masons, right? There's fixer mason, banker mason, and then there's the...
Like ornamental carvers, kind of like decorative. Okay. So like in the UK, they have cathedral masons in the UK.
Right.
So they'll have kind of masons that specialise in cathedral work, kind of making pinnacles and carving everything out and drawing it off from scratch.
Right. What is a banker mason, right? What's the banker mason?
Banker mason is just basically carving up sections of building, plinth courses, just shaping stones into different plinths and chamfer details, and just walking stone with chisels, basically.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And then the fixer mason?
Fixer mason is building. So it could be like building masonry units and fitting stone. You know what I mean? Obviously, like fitting a stone into an old building, if you're putting a stone in on a projected edge and there's an overhang, you have to put metal bars into it so it can't fall. So like you could have 2 bars going back, and then you could have 2 bars drilled into the stone left and right, and then like you wrap fishing wire around them. So when you push the stone up, you pull on the fishing wire and the 2 bars shoot across into it.
Oh,
it's like it's called a mouse dowel. So there's all different fixing techniques.
Right.
Do you know? And then if we're dismantling something, like we could be dismantling chimney stacks or an ornamental window in a church. Like, so every single stone has to be numbered, catalogued, drawn out onto a drawing. So we'll do a drawing, we'll mark every stone out, we'll number every stone, we'll catalogue it, we'll catalogue the damage before we take it apart.
Right.
And then we'll dismantle it. And then obviously we'll repair stone if we have to repair stone, and then replace stone, and then put it all back together.
Yeah.
And then obviously then you've record all the new replacements and do a drawing. So when you finish the job, someone can look at it and say, right, here's exactly what they've done. And everything's back in identical positions.
Right, silly question, right? How are you repairing a stone, right? Are you putting like a joint into the stone, then
well, it really,
it out as,
yeah, but look,
or are you putting cement on top of it?
No, don't use cement. Don't mention cement. No, no, everything we do is in lime. So I mean, obviously, if a stone is, if it's just a general split, we can kind of put bars back into stones and repair them that way. But it really depends on the amount of damage. It could be a stone replacement, you know. Right. Or a graft. It could be a section of the building, so you just taking out a section of stone, like a square out of corner. So it's just cutting out a section of damage and then making a new piece and fitting it in.
Right. Okay.
Just depends on the building.
Depends on the building. So there's no one set way.
There's no one set way of doing anything in conservation.
What, no cement.
No cement. No, definitely no cement. Everything we do is with lime, and different types of lime as well. I mean, you've got like air limes, you've got kind of NHLs. I mean, the lime is so many different opinions, and everyone's different on what they use and why they use it.
Right. What one do you prefer? What one do you?
Oh, just that's it. It's like it depends on the building.
Okay, so
really depends on the. I mean, to even get into lime, we'd be here for 3 hours talking about lime. So that's
leave that off.
Leave that off the table.
Grand.
Quick pause in the conversation to shout two of today's sponsors. First up, IT.ie, your trusted partner for managed IT services, cybersecurity and modern workplace solutions. If you want your business running smoothly, securely and future ready, these are the people to talk to. You can visit IT.ie for more information. And if you're moving house, scaling a business, renovating, or just need a bit of extra breathing room, Nested Storage can really take the stress out of the process. They offer secure, modern, and flexible storage solutions with both short and long-term options, perfect if your new place isn't ready yet, or if you don't want to move everything at once. Simple, safe, and stress-free storage when you need it most. Plus, Nested even offer a free moving service. You can visit nested.ie for more information, or even give the guys a call. Let's get back to the conversation. Here we go.
And then, what's the cathedral mason? Like, what are they doing?
Like obviously this year I was around. I was in where was I? Westminster Abbey, Lincoln Cathedral, Wells Cathedral, Durham Cathedral. So they'd kind of have. Durham has a workshop.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know, and like they'd be replacing like flying buttresses and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? If they're damaged and like, well, not they weren't doing a flying buttress, but like. They replace buildings, but they do a special cathedral. There's a year course they do, so they'll train up as far as they want into a banker mason or an ornamental mason, and then they can go and do a year of traveling around just doing high-end work in different cathedrals, and then they kind of become a cathedral mason.
Okay, I thought, what's the one in France that burned down there a while ago? Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
Notre Dame. There you go. Is that kind of what that would be like, rebuilding that kind of structure?
Yeah, but that was more kind of a lot of timber work, wasn't it?
Yeah,
a lot of timber work. That was like that was all the actual really heavy timber. So like they brought framers from all over the UK and France to do work on that, and they hewed out all the timber. So they literally kind of cut the trees out of the forest, dragged them out, and traditionally hewed them with axes. There was no machinery used on that, and they handmade every single beam and put it all back together traditionally.
Jeez.
Do you know that's how they done that? It's a nice project.
Yeah.
But like only France produced that quality of timber. England doesn't produce that quality of timber anymore.
So
because
it's all what's
oak.
But nowadays like they're going like pine, isn't it?
Yeah, but we don't use anything like that in buildings.
No, it's totally.
Do you know, like that's kind of modern constructions. You know, when you're doing kind of repairs on buildings, like for like. Right. Not all the time, but that's the way it's close as possible. Yeah. So if you're taking out oak, you really should be putting back in oak back into it.
Out of all like the different types of masons that there is there like one that you specifically prefer, or a specific type of work that you prefer doing, like whether it's fixer or banker?
Well, I do kind of basic banker mason work and kind of fixer work, but I mean, at the moment, what I enjoy mostly doing is plastering and decorative plastering. Like running situ cornice and all the kind of nice Georgian stuff. Yeah, all the designs and that's in what I enjoy doing. So that's kind of the main area that I'm pushing to kind of.
What's that? It's fucking messy.
It's nice work.
Yeah.
It's nice work. It looks well.
Are you just waiting for it to dry and then painting as well, or is that someone else's job?
No, that's someone else's job. Yeah, we don't do any painting. So that's like running, like the Georgians would have done running situ work. So they literally fitted timbers up on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then they build a kind of a horse. So it's like a profile to the shape.
Yeah.
And then they'd actually run that back and forth while putting the material on. So it's like line putty and kind of cast and plaster, and then they build it out, and that's how they done all them like in position. Do you know? And then obviously the Victorians done fibrous plastering. So fibrous plastering is where they make it on the ground out moulds and just fix it up. So it's like that's a complete different style altogether. So obviously, like as it's got newer and newer, the skills have been lost. You know, they've been watered down and watered down and watered down. Obviously, the Georgians built buildings better than the Victorians, I think.
Yeah, and then there's probably. Is there ways to cheat the system now, like, and that you wouldn't notice, or?
What do you mean cheat the system?
Well, like, you know, like if someone like put a plastic mold and then poured cement into it and then just kind of.
Well, no, they wouldn't use cement, but I mean, you can like if we're on a building and there's a section to be done, a repair, we'll do it the same way the building. So if we're in a Georgian building and it's all running situ work, and there's one wall that's damaged and it needs to be replaced, we'll do it run in situ to match. So we'll do like for like. If you go into a Victorian building and there's a cornice missing and it's fibrous, we'll just do it fibrous. We won't run it in position because it doesn't match.
Get you.
You know, it looks slightly different.
Right.
So we'll do like for repairs. So that's what I mean. Every single building is different that we do. Every approach we take is for a different reason.
Yeah, it's just, I wouldn't say it's a boring job, but I'd say it's heartbreaking, like the amount of skill and effort that has to.
Yeah, well, nothing ever goes right on site. You know what I mean? You always get problems. I mean, it's just how quick you overcome the problems is what makes a good person on site. You know that way?
Poor apprentices, I'd be thinking, can't call it. But if, let's say, right, I want to be a mason, and I want to get into that type of work, is it just about getting the trade, and then after you get your trade, then look elsewhere to kind of
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously you can upskill. I mean, nowadays you could get your trade as a bricklayer or a stonemason, or obviously banker masons are going to do banker work from straight. But if you got into just say general bricklaying or general plastering, and you've done your 4 years, 5 years, got your experience behind you, and you could plaster, well then you could just ring around all the traditional plasterers, that do the conservation work, and then just hop in, and then at least then you have the skill. You can use the tools, and then it's just a change of materials and a change of approach.
Right. So would you recommend that I get just a regular kind of bricklaying apprenticeship?
Yeah, I think that's the best way in.
Yeah.
I think the best way into kind of conservation work is to actually just get a trade first.
Get the trade first, and then
Get a trade as a bricklayer, serve your time, get the practice in, get good at what you do, and then you can get in with a restoration company that does kind of heritage bricklaying and conservation works and learn on the job then.
Okay. And then the SPAB course that you
SPAB.
The SPAB course that you go. Is there like an interview process to go onto that course, or do you just ring up and say I want to be on the course?
No. So they open the applications up every year. I think it opens up in the summer.
Okay.
Runs till like start of November, the application. So it's just a general form you fill out online about your history. You got to give some references, give a history about what you do, and then they pick out of everyone that applies. Because you can apply from anywhere in the world. Yeah. You know, it's not just closed off. So
yeah, it's not just people in the UK or
no, it's like
all over.
Yeah, one of the girls this year doing the scholarship, she was from Australia.
Oh, okay.
Do you know, so like it's opened up to everyone. So every year there's 2 courses that run side by side. You got the SPAB fellowship program, and you got the SPAB scholarship program, and obviously the SPAB fellow is actually the William Morris craft. It's the William Morrises who set up SPAB. Do you know what I mean? Like in 1677. So it's been going that long. Yeah. You know, so they have a whole approach to doing buildings, but I'll keep to the program. So they'll pick, probably last year when I went for interviews there was 10 people, so it was shortlisted to 10 people. Right. Okay. You know, and like there was people different. There was a stained glass artist there for the interviews. You know, like traditional timber framers, traditional joiners, like furniture makers. You know, so it's all craft people. Yeah. And are these people like that have a trade done, or it's not like their first role? Oh no. Like it's opened up to anyone at any experience level. Do you know what I mean? But you have to have a trade. Yeah. So it's opened up to tradespeople. So you have to have a craft behind you first. Right. And generally, if you were going to, you'd want to have some experience behind you. Yeah. You know, you wouldn't want to come straight out. Yeah, you wouldn't come out skill going in there. Well, you wouldn't want to be coming out of your apprenticeship or just going straight into it. You'd want to get a couple of years on site behind you first, going for it, I think. Yeah. You know, and then literally, it's a year course, just traveling the UK, just visiting the top conservation projects. Some visits might be with engineers, architects, building surveyors. Some days were with craftspeople, like plasterers, traditional joiners, but like the people at the very, very top of the game. And I think the program is like, it's not just about upskilling, it's about kind of getting a whole conservation philosophy mindset. Okay. And why to repair a building and when not to repair a building, you know. So it's kind of a whole kind of philosophy based as well. It's I think how you approach a building is just as important as how you actually do the work. Right. You know. And what do you think of people that think just knock it down and put a modern building in place? Do you think it's important to keep it there? Or? Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest issues now at the minute is they have that kind of vacant home grant, haven't they, in Ireland? So if you buy an old cottage that's been derelict for 2 years, you can get a grant for €50,000. Yeah, that's true. So there's loads of work going on all around Ireland, but like people are just employing normal builders and just going in and putting Kingspan plastics into them, and you know that's not the way. Yeah. You know, like we use all kind of breathable traditional materials, but then as well, it's like that type of work isn't cheap. Yeah, exactly. You know, and this is an outway someone mightn't have the money to do it right. Yeah, and what's driving the price up is there's not enough people to do it. Exactly. Right. That's what drives price, supply and demand, isn't it? I mean, if there isn't enough people to do the work, drives the price up. Because like most good lads nowadays, plasterers, companies, they're booked out a year, 18 months in advance.
Shit, like I was looking even to get a builder for my own place, like 4 months, like wait list, like cause like he was like 4 months
That's
ahead.
not much.
And then if it runs over then, so he was probably saying, oh, maybe 6, and I was like, oh fuck. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
How do you think we'd encourage more people though? I know I kind of asked you a similar question earlier, but how are we going to encourage more people to get into your type of trade or to go into like stonemasonry?
I think it needs to really be pushed in the skills.
Yeah.
Do you know? That's where it should be getting pushed. You know, actually holding kind of craft days, showcasing different skills. I mean, in England now, when you travel to England, I'd say most of the jobs we visit in the UK were probably a lot of them are 50% women, 50% men.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Big read like there's a lot of women in conservation in the UK.
Yeah.
And I think obviously it should be opened up to everyone in Ireland, not so much, but I just think going to the skills, showcasing the skills, the crafts, what can be done. Do you know that you don't have to go to college?
Yeah.
Do you
What? Let's say a 16-year-old comes to you and wants a job, wants to be your apprentice. What kind of questions are you going to ask them?
Most people I've took on over the years to train have been through like a family friend or someone I knew. So they said, "Look, there's a lad there. Will you take him on and see how he gets on?"
Yeah.
I mean, I've brought lads into work and they've gone home after 4 hours. Do you know?
What I mean?
This isn't what I thought it was. I've had lads that lasted a week.
Okay.
Do you know? And as well, training people costs money.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No.
You know, so you take someone on, they've never been in a building site before. Every time I stop on me tills, I'm not earning money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they slow me down by 3 hours, that's 3 hours out of my pocket.
Yeah.
And you have to pay them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know? And they used to have a lot of grants for apprentices. So I think you used to have one, like, I think back in the day, when 20 years ago, they had like 14,000 a year grant for taking on an apprentice.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. They used to run grants to take on apprentices. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And now they're almost nearly expecting you to pay them while they're in college. So
Yeah.
while they're in college, they're looking for you.
Well, that's what I have at the minute. I have an apprentice. She's here 4 days a week and in college 1 day a week.
And you pay.
I pay her wages, and I think college cost €1,000, and we got the €1,000 back in a grant. That was it.
Yeah, and which is you get back. But that's what they should be running. They should be.
But yeah, you're still paying them, and it's not an apprentice rate either. Like it's pretty decent, right? Like
Yeah, it's not like they used to be. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think when I done I didn't finish my apprenticeship right, but I did. I think I was on $5.50 an hour in my apprenticeship, maybe $4.50 an hour. I can't remember, but it was pretty low. It was like 200 a week or whatever. Whereas, like
125 I got.
100.
125 a week. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what I started out on. 125.
Were you happy with that 125?
I thought, yeah, I was on a young fleet. I thought it was loads of money.
I thought it was loads of money as well. I was like 16. I was like new pair of runners.
Still living at home.
Yeah, 50 per week. Well, would that put you off taking on an apprenticeship because there isn't that grant and you're kind of paying them? You're a small business, right? So you have to be effective and you have to be making money. Would that put you off?
Yeah, I think that's what is putting off a lot. I mean, most crass people you talk to, that's why they're not actually training people. Do you know, like it used to be the day when you go on site and there'd be loads of apprentices. You go on site now and I'd be young fella. That's what it's like. I mean, I go on to site now and there'd be lads there in their 50s and 60s.
Right.
Do you know, like you go on to site, it's all grey hair everywhere.
Yeah. Do you think people just don't have the patience for like the younger generation that have been on the PlayStation, not very social, stuck in their bedroom?
Well, I think that's a big thing as well.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, I mean, obviously kids these days, I think obviously spend a lot of time in the house and not so much time outside. So that's why they kind of tend towards plumbers and electricians than actually kind of wet trades like bricklaying, stonemasonry, plastering, which is all outside trades in the winter and the cold. Do you know, that keeps people away from it. But I just think obviously over time goes by and prices keep going up, it will draw people in. And I think obviously with the people being let go from kind of AI coming into jobs, we'll be retraining people to come into the construction industry.
Yeah, I think the construction, well, especially like even with the number of houses that we need, I think 200,000 people came into the country, built 23,000 or 26,000 houses. Like it's just
and should run about the Metro North line leading just 8,000 people or something to work on it.
Yeah.
They haven't got the people because the whole of Europe is competing for the same workforce.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
Lads can go anywhere because a lot of lads I know that carpenters that have been trained the last few years, as soon as they're qualified, they've gone to Australia.
Yeah, even like as soon as you're trained up now, you're off to Germany to build a data center. That's massive at the moment. There's lads moving to Germany and having apartments paid for while they're living in Germany with a flight back every 2 or 3 weeks if they want.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone's competing. The whole of Europe,
yeah,
America, Canada, we're all competing for the same workforce, and no one's producing enough craftspeople.
yeah.
So obviously, the more demand for housing,
Yeah.
you're not going to get people.
Do you see our future in Ireland like with the skills that they have, or do you see it like do you see yourself moving back to the UK or
Nah,
Spain?
no. I think like I do work in the UK if it came up. If a
Yeah.
right project came up in the UK, I'd work in the UK.
Yeah. Is that a passion thing or a price thing?
No, I think if it was an interesting building, so I mean, like obviously you have to have 3 things on a job for a job to work.
Right.
Client it needs to be a good person, a nice client.
Yeah.
It needs to be an interesting job.
Okay.
And they need to have the money to do it right.
Okay.
And if you haven't got all 3 of them,
No,
it's not a runner.
Okay.
Do you know, obviously when I was younger, I used to take on every job that came to me.
Yeah.
And obviously now, very privileged and blessed at the minute that I can pick and choose what I want to do.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like I'd say I've only probably looked at 30% of the jobs that came into me this year for next year.
Jeez, okay.
You know, I know from talking to someone on the phone if they want to do the job right, because the client has to want to do the job right as well.
Yeah.
There's no point just going to work for a client just because they've got money.
Yeah.
Do you know? And they want to do the building wrong, or they you know, they want to put the wrong materials into it. So you'll know from talking to the clients.
Okay. So
if their approach is right, and if they respect the craftspeople, like, you know, I mean, it's nothing worse than going to a job and you know, you're just a trade person doing the work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Do you appreciate because it's almost a form of art in some ways, right? Like.
Yeah, it can be. Well, it is. It is. It's even in brickwork and doing brickwork and stonework. It is. And it's hard graft.
Yeah.
Do you know?
When I was lashing around, I'd even say, I'm glad I work in an office.
Well, I'm lucky enough now. I do the plastering, so normally if it's raining, we're inside. We're inside. Yeah. So before I started plastering, like 6-7 years ago, I was always outside. But now I kind of like, obviously, with the temperatures being low, you can't work with lime. Either outside, if it drops below 5 degrees, you can't work with lime. So we'll always going to keep work for the winter inside.
Okay.
No, you know, keep an inside job if it comes up late September or something like that. We'll keep that job for the winter.
The Adare Manor project, how did that kind of come about, or what?
But that was an interesting one. So I was working in done a bit of work down in Ashford Castle down in Cong and Mayo. So I was brought in through another company to kind of help them out that were behind schedule on a project.
Right.
So I went in with my crew of lads to kind of pull the job across the line.
Yeah.
So I went in there and the QS off that job obviously seen us working.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call about 6 months later and asked did I want to work in Adare Manor.
Right.
And obviously beat the price job and get the job, but it was like a massive project, you know what I mean? It was like 10,000 square meters in that building. So like you'd 66 chimney stacks on it, and these chimney stacks are massive, all ornate carved.
Yeah.
Like 11 of them got replaced, 50% of them got taken down and rebuilt. There was bay windows to come down that had like corroding iron in them that had to be dismantled and rebuilt and replaced with stainless steel. Like full cleaning and conservation of the whole building. It was like 18 months. Jeez. 18 months in that building. Absolutely like with 15 man crew on that job. 15 of us on that job for 18 months.
And did you rebuild all the chimney stacks, or were you just...
some of them were just repointing work.
Okay, yeah.
50% of them came down.
Yeah.
And then out of 66, 11 of them were fully replaced and recarved.
Right, jeez. That's because that's like number one destination for weddings in Ireland, isn't it? Like,
yeah, and they've got the golfing coming up in it as well. Yeah,
yeah. So the reasons everyone's photographs looks lovely.
Yeah, it was a nice building to work on, and it was an interesting project, you know. And that was kind of when I had me mid company, was one of the highlights.
Yeah,
buildings to work on.
When you were down there, right? Like, are you staying overnight down there?
Yeah, we 3 houses.
Okay.
We got 3 houses for the lads. So we had a house in Adare itself.
Yeah.
And then we 2 houses down in Newcastle West.
Right. Okay.
So like the crew was all split up into different houses.
And is it like a 7-day week kind of job there?
Nah, we were down. We done a 4-day week and in on the Friday morning till like 11 o'clock, and then we were gone.
Then you're gone.
Gone.
Well, 18 months. Like that was the whole hotel was obviously shut down then for that.
Yeah, it was all closed. Yeah, so they closed it down and completely redeveloped the whole building. They redone the whole inside, and then they built new buildings beside it.
Yeah.
So like we weren't on the new build stuff. We were just on the old manor house.
The old stuff, yeah.
So we were just on all the old stuff. But a massive building to do.
Yeah. Was it like Any point like on one of those projects you're just like, fuck this, why did I sign up for? Or are you just kind of getting through it as you're like uncovering problems? Because I say that's all you're doing.
There was a good specification to the job to
Right.
actually, price up. But like they didn't obviously once you clean a building off, because that building had that much biological on the growth on the outside.
Yeah,
When we steam cleaned all the kind of lichens off to uncover the stone,
yeah.
like the repairs were like 10 times the amount of repairs.
Okay.
Cracks and grafting and different stones to be replaced. So it just grew legs, the job did.
Yeah. See, when you obviously agree a price to do it, and then when you uncover it, then you find more and more problems.
Well, it's just so if you price an item in a bill of quantities and then you find 10 times the amount of work, the price is already in. It's just pro rata. It just goes on to the amount of items. Like generally, you don't want to be finding problems.
Yeah.
Do you know? But like as well, I mean,
well,
that's the difference between me looking at a job and actually pricing a tender.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going in to look at a job, I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
It's me. If I'm stripping plaster off a building, I already know to allow for certain works to be done behind the plaster work, that it's not going to be different. So I can be within 5% of getting it right.
Okay.
Where like they were out by 10 times on one element of works.
Jeez. Okay.
Do you know?
How are you picking it up, right? And the other person is not. Is that just like the trained eye? Like,
well, no, it's just a big building. They probably would have surveyed the building from the ground.
Okay.
Do you know, they walked around, you couldn't see any of it because there was a biological growth on top of the stonework. You couldn't see a lot of the cracking and damage.
Okay.
Until it was cleaned.
Yeah. And does like a building like that, like now in a couple of years, is that going to have to be redone again because it's such an old building?
So that's a lifetime, not in my lifetime.
Yeah. So
not in my lifetime. That's what I'm saying. When buildings like that come up, it's nice to get onto them because chances are once in a lifetime opportunities to get on buildings.
It's good to have that even on your CV. Like I done X amount of work on Adare Manor. Like,
yeah, it was a lovely building to walk on, and obviously we took a couple of lads on from Limerick for the project.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of Limerick masons down on the job with us.
Oh, okay.
So it was a lovely job to do.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Do you ever get invited back to the hotel then?
No, you don't. Out the door, isn't it? See you later.
Good luck.
It's not cheap to stay there.
Yeah,
crazy money.
Yeah, it's something. I think it's like their wedding list is like 2 or 3 years in advance. Like you have to book your wedding before you get married there, and I think it's one of the most expensive places to get married in the country. So, and if someone wants to find you now, I know you mentioned the name of your company already, but where can they find you? How can they get in touch with you? What kind of work do you actually want?
That's a hard question. It really depends on the building. I mean, I do everything. I mean, I've worked on like normal Norman tower houses, which is like a normal castle. It could be like, walking churches, or walking Georgian buildings, Victorian buildings. I mean, it really depends.
Right.
I'm interested to take on any project.
Yeah. As
long as the person is a decent person to work for.
They meet the three.
Yeah, they meet the three things. That's it.
Okay.
No issue working for anyone.
And where can they find you?
Well, generally all my work comes through word of mouth. Okay. I do kind of have my TikTok page.
Yeah.
I do have kind of my Instagram page, which is all just under my own name, Gerard Edwards. Do you know?
We'll link it in the description for you.
Yeah.
So people can reach out to you. Do you have a website or anything yet?
No, not yet. I'm going to set one up this year.
All right. So if you get it, just let us know.
Yeah, well.
But thanks for coming in.
Huge thanks to Gerard for sharing his journey through stonemasonry and conservation work. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe or follow along. A huge thanks to our sponsors, Top Drawer Talent, Nesta Storage and IT.ie. This has been the 1040 podcast and thanks for listening.